Hello and welcome to Construction Morph. Today's the 1st of September, so that normally means in the LEGO world beginning of the month new releases, and that's what we've got. So we haven't had a new series of minifigures since the 1st of January actually, which was the series 27, which was the sort of LEGO own themed ones. And then in May we should have got some new minifigures, but unfortunately we got the collectible F1 race cars, which was a big missed opportunity because they could have given us, minifigure versions of the drivers, which would have been, really cool. But we got those disappointing cars, and I don't think they sold that well, going by what I've seen on the sort of stock on the shelves in the shops, as there's normally quite a lot left over still. So today finally we've got this new minifigure series, which is the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and there's 12 to collect. And I normally go to the LEGO store at the beginning of the month and pick up a load of things, but the way they've staggered the releases this month, a lot of things I'm interested in, such as the Black Pearl and the sort of the Wonka, Willy Wonka, and the Arkham Asylum, they're all sort of coming out towards later in the month. They've sort of staggered these releases, so I've not gone today because there's just the minifigures I'm interested in, and I can just sort of get those locally because it's like getting towards a 2-hour trip for me to get to a LEGO store. So that's what I've done here, but unfortunately I've had sort of stock issues, so I've only got 7 so far, and I've also, used minifigure scanners, which I'll show you in a moment, to try and work out what's inside the box using the QR codes. I'm sure many of you that follow the channel will be familiar with that. But the ones I've been using, they just wouldn't work this afternoon when I went after lunch. It just shows a code, or just couldn't say not recognised. So I had to use some of my know-how from previous years and look at the actual raw code, and then I could see work out which numbers corresponded to an ID, and then not get any sort of duplicates. So I've got what I can, but since I've got home and earlier this evening, I've just checked, and one of these scanners is now working, so we can show you that in a moment. But then I can show you if one of the scanners isn't working, on how to try and avoid duplicates. So let's dive on in. I'm all set up and ready to go. I've got my trusty measuring jug, so you can see the contents through here when I enter them in to make sure that it's the right thing. So QR code at the bottom here, and then I normally use web-based scanners nowadays because I don't like downloading loads of apps. And then also some of the apps charge a subscription fee, so when there's free options available, you might as well use them, and sort of have more money for minifigures. So you'll see this sort of QR code here, and I cover the barcode so it doesn't read that. Then I used to use the Jay's Brickbog one, but I've had issues with that recently. So let's so you get it in the box there. I find this particular one though, it really struggles to find a focus when you move it closer compared to the other one, so that's maybe a flaw in their sort of algorithms on using the camera. But it seems to struggle to I think it's better on my phone because I'm actually using that to record. But I can show you a screen grab of what I've got in the shops, where it just shows you code, and I'll highlight the code that's relevant to the ID. It's the last 2 digits of that, and that's how I used to compare. I had sort of 38, 39, 40, 41. I can see they're in a sequence and they're the minifigures. I find this app a bit of a pain to use just because it struggles to focus quite a lot, and it's obviously doesn't work at the moment because they've not updated it. So I found this Falcon Bricks finder works a lot better, just focuses easily, and it does work with the ID. So look at that instant sort of focusing. Pretty much there we go, and you can see it's got the Cyborg Spider-Woman in the box. So let's have a look. Just like that, it's just focuses so much easier, a lot less faffing, especially in the shop, and other people are interested as well. So here we go. Let's dive on in. And that does work. That's the Cyborg one, so I'm really happy that's worked perfectly. So let's just try one more as a test on the Falcon Bricks website. So we go. Let's go on there. That's very quick compared to the Jay's Brickbog one. Just instantly focuses. Mars Morales. Let's see if that's right. Just so much easier to use. Like it, free. Don't have to download anything. Take it out. And that's Mars Rise, so that one seems to be the one to use at the moment. I think it works perfectly and quickly. So what I'm going to do now is I'll have to open the rest of these and make sure I didn't get any duplicates because I didn't have the scanners working back then. And then I did mention I haven't got all of them because they just didn't have much stock on the shelves. Maybe they've sort of replenished stock from the back at the moment. I'm not sure. I might be tempted to go down quickly and have a look actually, because I feel like, I want to review all 12 for you to see. I think there was issues with like them putting stock on shelves. There's been like, a lot of shoplifting in the UK nowadays, and I think they're a bit worried about putting loads of stock on the shelves. And also, the ones they put on the shelves, I think, in the boxes, you get like sort of 2 large rows, and sort of 2 layers, and I probably just got one of the layers. I think the way they distribute the minifigures in the boxes, you only get certain minifigures per layer, so then I only had available to me sort of 7 potential figures. So might go down to the shops quickly, and then we'll see if I can get the rest of the 5. Gone to Smith's Toy Store, and with luck they've put out 2 new cases recently. I'm now back home, and as you may see here, there's more boxes, and if you count them up, in fact 12. So I did indeed get a full set, which you'll see down here. So that was definitely worth a trip, down to the shops, and luckily I had more stock on the shelves. And I think it's worth it getting the remaining 5, so I can actually show you all the minifigures, because it's sort of a bit of a letdown, isn't it, if I only show you some of them. Then you can decide which one's your sort of favourites if you want to get some. And then I will say I'm not a Spider-Verse expert. I've never seen it before, so I've sort of looked briefly into it, and I'll mention a few details, but if there's anything interesting I may have missed that you want to put in the comments, please feel free to do so. So let's take a look at these minifigures individually. First up we have Miles Morales, and I know him from the actual Spider-Man Miles Morales PlayStation video games, which is quite a lot of fun. And then you'll see he has got like, arm printing for like sort of, he has electric powers just along there. And on the front as well, and he's got his holding a spider, and you'll see a lot of the figures actually do have 2 heads enclosed, so that's his sort of normal face. And then obviously when he puts his mask on, you can swap their heads over, and he's got his hairpiece, and there is sort of subtle print on the legs. This is one of the sort of probably plainer figures, but it's still pretty decent. And then his sort of spider suit at the back of that. So that's him. Then I'm going to swap the heads around to show you what he looks like. But first I'll pop off the hairpiece, and then you'll see he has got a secondary face as well, which is sort of a bit meaner, ready for action. And there's Miles with his full Spider-Man outfit on, with a mask over his head. And I will just point out that the sort of the plates that you can stand them on, all sort of this translucent orange, which is quite nice. I've not seen this in a series before. I think they've enclosed that because it represents a portal that's in the sort of Spider-Verse series, where they sort of transport in between different realities, shall we say. So that's Miles Morales. So sticking with a slight theme here, this is the superhero Prowler. His actual identity is Miles G. Morales, so Miles Morales from another universe. There's a lot to keep track of in these different multiverses. And I like the big sort of hands, which is sort of actual piece that he holds in his hands for the figures. That looks quite effective. Nice intricate detailing on the front, and also some on the sides as well. You'll see if I pop off the handpiece, just down there, you'll see there's a lot of good print detail on the arms and on the legs. So very effective looking. He comes with like this sort of slight cape. Flicking around, then you'll see there is some print detailing underneath as well, like part of the suit. So that's quite a nice one. I think he's got a record. Yes, he has. I'm not sure the significance of this, but it's a very nice print piece again. And then the mask sort of is quite well detailed, and it sort of molds with his like dreads, his hairpiece coming down. But you do get a spare hairpiece when he's not in that form. If I just pop this off here, you see his face. And then nothing on the back there, secondary face, and then you can just put his sort of dreads hair on. So that's the Prowler. This character is the Sun Spider. So it's probably one of the sort of more, maybe, it's still well printed, but more of the basic sort of figures in the series. There's good detailing on the sort of sides and on the front, and then he comes with his crutches. And then if you spin around, you see it's sort of not too bad at the back, relatively basic. And I do like though the sort of cap with a little sort of a spider logo on it, so that's quite nice. There's no secondary face, so that's the Sun Spider. This is Spider-Man India, and comes very well accessorised. Got the cup there for the tea. I think that's a sort of a joke in the series. And then the cat as well is a really nice piece with a little sort of printed mask on the cat's face. So that's quite a cool little spider sort of cat there. Again, with most of the series, we've got very nice print detailing again for the actual suits. Looks, very well sort of detailed on the sides as well. And arm detailing, like, the gold stripes, they look really good. You flick it around. You see also dual mod legs that, in fact, actually the sort of darker and lighter blue. So again, they've put a lot of effort into this one, and a good sort of shiny sort of detail on the back. And if I just pop the hairpiece off, you'll see there is a secondary face, and the sort of sports band goes round either side, so it looks consistent whichever face you've got on. And then there also is actually a spare head when he's wearing his mask, and a spare cup. And there is all suited up with the mask on now. So again, that's quite a nice piece with the headband still on it for consistency there. And in fact, actually, I wonder if you just pop. Probably don't do this in the show, but you can put the hair on. That looks even more funky, doesn't it? But I don't think that's official. This is Werewolf Spider-Man. So obviously, Construction Wolf channel, we do like the wolf ones, and very impressive headpiece with the printing and the sort of the mould as well, with the ears and the mouth. All looks really good. And then also actually the legs, they're actually sort of, I guess, tri-molded. You've got sort of red down here, and then the blue upper, and then the sort of brown where the other foot's out, you see there from the back as well. So that's quite impressive. A lot of sort of detail there, and it looks really good where sort of, the little rips are coming through as he's ripped through the trousers, turning into a werewolf, I guess. And then you'll see as well the arms are sort of dual molded as well, so they look good again. And it comes with like, a sort of tail that sits between the leg and the torso, which is sort of rubberized. I've seen in other minifigure series, the animal ones, that looks quite good. I will say though, this one is lacking any other accessories. What you see here is what you get. I think it would be nice if, like say the Prowler, there was like little claws you could clip in the hands. That would be maybe a little more effective, but still quite a nice minifigure. This is the Cyborg Spider-Woman, so a very distinctive character in the series. From like the future thing that we looked into at the 2080s, so it's not just sort of multiverse, but it's sort of time travel and stuff going on as well. Got the unique arm which stands out, and then you actually clip a few pieces in here which I can show you because they give you a spare of these. So I've just got here these little pieces that clip into the arm, so that's that there. And then also between the torso and the legs, you'll see there's like a sort of belt, a utility belt. You get a spare one of those as well. I think that's what sort of Batman has some of those in those series of figures. So good sort of parts, accessories, and then also got the big mouthpiece and sort of armour on the one arm that goes between the head and the torso. Print detailing again looks spot on. A lot of sort of interesting chains and things, and then dual moulded legs with lots of sort of print as well. When we spin around, you see the arm. It all looks really well detailed, and the back too. So yeah, this is quite an impressive looking figure. This is Peter B. Parker. And this is his daughter May, also alias of Mayday, the superhero. And I think he named his daughter that after his Aunt May, who I'm sure probably passed away in that timeline as well. And you'll see he's like also known as sort of Spider Dad as well. He's got the nice little baby figure in the sort of carrier. And you can actually obviously take that off and spin around first. So he's in actually sort of dressing gown. Relatively sort of basic compared to some of the other figures, but it is what it is, I guess, for what he's wearing. Has the dual moulded legs. Pop the baby like so, and you see just a sort of a normal baby figure. No printing on the actual body, but the head's quite nicely done. And now I've taken off the carrier. You can see underneath he's got his like Spider-Man uniform just under his dressing gown, and I've changed his face to the secondary face, which is looking a bit worried. Probably wondering what Mayday's up to. Next up we have Gwen Stacy, also known as Spider-Gwen, and I think sometimes Spider-Woman as well. So we see here she's got a picture of her and Miles Morales, so that's quite a nice print piece there. And then she's relatively well detailed, but I think just the nature of outfit is not as intricate as some of the others. You'll see she's got some dual moulded legs and very good side print detailing for like sort of sneakers she's got on, and some details on her arms as well. And flip around, and that's the back, but nothing too crazy. But you will notice she's got this really nice sort of dual moulded hair with this sort of pink accents coming down at the bottom. So I really like that, and it's quite a nice piece actually, where it sort of flows to one side and hangs down. So that's quite intricate. Looks really good. And you'll notice here there's a face and a mask here, so you can actually change her into sort of Spider-Gwen. And you see she's got this secondary face there that's looking a bit sort of not so happy there. And then if we can pop the head off, and there we go, that's with her full Spider-Gwen outfit on. And I do like the eyes as well, sort of they're a bit more intricate, sort of speckled details for like sort of, looks like a bit like eyelashes, isn't it, on there? So that's a really nice minifigure. Spider-Man 2099 here, as you can guess, from the future. So he's actually name is Miguel O'Hara, and I believe he actually is the leader of the Spider Society, where a bunch of Spider-Men get together and work together. And the little orange character here, which is the micro figure, is actually his AI assistant Lila. That's supposed to represent. So that's quite a nice sort of detailed feature, and you can see it's got a little face on there as well, printed on. I like how it's transparent. You actually get two in the set. You'll see I put the spare one there to one side with his mask. And yeah, there's sort of nice detailing again, print wise, as you can see. And then even print detail in the arms. And I really like this sort of cape. You know, sort of looks quite sort of futuristic, doesn't it? It's got the nice sort of jagged sort of details there. And it's actually made out of plastic. This, I like how it's transparent. And you just pop it out of, you get this sort of plastic sheeting that you can just pop out of in the set. So put it on to one side. And then you'll probably see underneath there is... try not to damage it and bend it, some print detailing under there as well. And then he has, I believe, got a secondary face which looks, you know, a lot meaner. And there he is with the full suit on, which looks pretty cool. This character is called Spider-Byte, spelled B-Y-T-E. Can you see what they did there? Yeah, sort of a futuristic looking character as well. And I believe she controls the, you know, the portals that go between the different multiverses. And she's got this sort of touchpad here with the detailing the portals, and I think that's one of the universes, 42. I don't know if it comes across well on the camera or not, but her legs and her arms are actually sort of transparent, so you can see sort of partially through them. There's sort of that sort of purple glittery material, so I don't know if you can see my sort of finger going through the back of them at all. You see where the hole is, but it looks really effective, looks sort of futuristic, and really nice figure, and does have good print detailing again on the sort of the sides of the arms and the legs. You can see that sort of pearlescence there, can't you? It's shining around in the light, and there you can sort of see through there as well. There you go. So just a really cool figure. Quite like it. She comes with that sort of interesting hairpiece, and then she does have a secondary piece as well to put on as a mask. That's her worried secondary face, and here she is with a mask on. I like the print detailing on the front, and also it's dual molded, so her hair is sort of moulded into the mask, because I've still got the hairpiece down here. So they've done quite a nice job of making that look seamless. This fun character's called Spider-Punk, and I think the real name's Hobie Brown. And I was reading about him, it sounds like he might be British, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. You have to let me know in the comments. Just such a well-detailed character, one of the best ones I'd say in the series. Like the guitar, don't know if we move it closer you can see. And zoom in, you see just such intricate print detailing throughout the whole guitar. You have different little sort of basic stickers on the guitar that he's put on, and the strings, etc. Just so well done. And if I just pop it to one side, you'll see that he's got a sort of a nice jacket on, and his sort of spider suit sort of tearing through. Dual molded legs again, and that's we'll have a look at the moment with his mask on. He's got this sort of rubberized mohawk on, so that's quite neat. And obviously his own natural hair is quite an impressive hairpiece, isn't it? And also, I don't know if you can see this, if I shine the light, you see he's got like piercings as well on his eyes. See that sort of silver coming through? So such an intricately detailed figure, and I think there's a piercing there as well actually. And then side print detailing, looks spot on. And then I like how his jacket's got, sort of a retro looking sort of drawn on sort of spider, so it looks quite impressive as well. And if I just pop the head off, yeah, there is a secondary face as well. Looks a bit more serious. You can see that sort of another piercing there in his mouth. And there he is in his mask. Just such an impressive one, like the mohawk, it's quite cool. So yeah, this is probably one of the best figures in the series. Last but certainly not least is the Web-Slinger character. And I'll point out you do get a spare, sort of bandana to go around the face with this figure. And this is probably one of my favourites as well, I'd say. Such an impressive figure, like, obviously even the belt buckle sort of shining there, the intricate print detailing, dual mod legs, so the boots come through, and, sort of the nice sort of waistcoat he's wearing. Comes with a lasso, and also flip around, you see he's got a poncho too, so that's nice. It's sort of, some graphics on there as well that they put on. It's made out of cloth. And then if we flip around, you see obviously they've got the cowboy hat on, like Stetson style. And then sort of not much detail in there, but that's, I guess, the nature of the outfit, same with the nothing on the arms. But really like this one. And then also you get such an impressive accessory, which is another character really, which is the horse.
And here's like the sort of spider horse. Quite impressive. Managed to do all that printing of the mask across the, you know, the whole of the face of the horse. Impressive looking. And then also dual molded, so you've got like the mane and the tail in a different colour of brown. So that's impressive that you get that figure as well with, you know, an already impressive Web-Slinger figure. So yeah, that's probably one of the best in the series.
I think that's a good look at these new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse minifigures. I'm glad I managed to get all 12 to show you, because you know, you feel like you've let viewers down if you don't get all to have a good look at it in detail. And also a big thank you to a few people that I saw in the store the second time, because we'll, you know, try and help each other with their scanning. A few people helped me and said, oh, what are you looking for, and they found me a few of these figures, so much appreciated. And you know, I think this is quite an impressive minifigure series, very well detailed. I'm not a, you know, fan of the source material, so if you're a fan, it's probably going to be even more impressive to yourselves. And probably my favourite, so I'd say I quite like the Spider-Byte one. We know the sort of transparent legs and that's quite neat. And surprisingly, not, the werewolf was decent, but not my favourite this time. If there's the Construction Wolf channel, I was quite impressed with Spider-Punk. Very impressive detailing on, you know, the guitar and printing on his face, etc. But probably my favourite one, I'd say, is the, you know, the Web-Slinger, like the cool little horse, and just the look of the characters impressive, like the poncho, etc. So that's my favourites. So let me know in the comments what your favourites are and which ones you may be picking up. And yeah, it'd be good to see next year what the minifigure series will be at this time of year, because it seems to be this time of year in September. They always do a licensed theme now. So we had, like, say, the year before was Dungeons & Dragons, the year before that was Marvel. So it'd be interesting what they come up with. Be nice if, you know, they did actually do proper F1 figures. Or, you know, here they've got the Star Trek license, so maybe if they did something like that with lots of different aliens from Star Trek, that'd be cool. Maybe put your ideas of some suggestions in the comments below. And, you know, hopefully you found this video useful. And if you did, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be very much appreciated. And hope to see you again next time. Bye.